Hi guys, Puddin here with our community replay for the week. I believe this is 114. I could be mistaken. And I'm starting it off a little bit later than normal because as soon as you see this, we have an NDA ship in here and I don't want to get in trouble because he was gawking at it a little bit because it did spawn by him. But we can see the Exeter driven by CaptAjax here. I'm sort of in a predicament with this replay because all of my experience with the Exeter has been under NDA. I finally have unlocked the ship. That's one of the reasons why I'm utilizing or showcasing the ship for, you know, everybody who want the route of unlocking it. I'm sure you might have done it a little bit earlier than me. But, you know, it's recently been, as I say, unlocked or given away if you completed the Exeter missions instead of just purchasing it. Now, like I was saying, as it looks like what Mr. Ajax here is doing is trying to get close to his battleship that is being attacked by the carrier. And offer AA support because you know what, AA bubbles are really what win that battle. You could have put your fighter plane up and it could potentially have done something, but maybe you're holding it for torpedoes, as most people tend to feel that those are more dangerous, when in reality the dive bombers of the US and the Americans are really what you want to do, like get rid of, because that's what everybody complains about is the dive bombers. But he, you know, closed ranks with the gentleman with his two battleships and offered an AA support, which I like. But like I was saying, is I haven't played this ship on a live server, so I have to be careful what I do say. Now, what makes the Exeter so special? Well, it's British. Nothing special about being British, but it has access to AG on the cruiser line. The only other cruiser I'm aware of that does is the Belfast, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if there's something else besides the Payfast that has AG rounds. So that's one thing that makes it special. Number two, we're at tier 5 and we have British heel. The other thing is we have a spotter plane. We oh god, Bongs, I love you too much. We have access to a fighter. Now the one thing I forgot to point out what he did there was he shot at the Kona, got the fire, noticed that it was still on fire, decided to switch targets. Now this may be nitpicking on my part, but you should have switched to AP a little bit sooner, but you did recognize the situation and switch to the AP. And the thing that the other thing that really makes the Exeter stand out is it's 203s at tier 5. I think the Japanese are the only other ones that have access to 203s at tier 5, and 203s can just wreck things. Anything broadside, these guns are going to hurt. Now, unfortunately, the Ranger is going to pick up speed here, but with a broadside carrier nowadays, where fires just, they don't last. It's not the way to go unless you're facing a bow in midway and kind of at range, or an angled armored deck. Just stick with the AP, especially if it's broadside. If it's broadside, you're going to do way more damage than you could with your AG, and if your shells are bouncing, then just switch to AG, get the guaranteed damage, as we take shots in on the Emerald. And this is what I mean by 203s, a butt Citadel with AG, guys. We managed to take one hit for 0 damage, and all the guy did was knock out steering. This is the thing with AG, guys, is you can hit a ship, do 0 damage, and just knock out a bunch of modules. it does happen, but some of the reason, well, okay, the real main reason I chose this, besides the Exeter, is you can see this guy, he's up in a fight. He's following his NDA ship because I can't pronounce it. He's up in the fight. There's all of these enemies. And it's a British cruiser, guys. Okay, at the end of the day, it's a tier 5 British cruiser. None of these battleships are really trying to punish him. Only one shot at him, and he shot it with HE. Fuso's now just outright completely ignoring him because he's got to turn his guns. But, I mean, look, we are 4 kilometers from a battleship. Secondary should be going off on something, hopefully, or somebody. But anybody paying attention to the time, we're 8 minutes into the game. We've taken 1 shell hit for 0 damage, and we are still at full health. This guy hasn't even had to use a heal. Hell, he didn't even panic fighter plane yet, which you need to panic fighter plane a little bit more often. But he's focusing on the Fuso. It sounds like something bounced, like he got hit again from a secondary, and that sounded like it bounced, but the Fuso's not long for the life. As he gets a torped on the Fuso, and here is the Grespe with the 8-kilometer torpedoes. I believe these are the longest of the German torpedoes as far as cruiser line. But as you can see, Mr. Ajax here is constantly looking around, constantly seeing what he can shoot, constantly trying to keep his guns into play, while limiting the things that can hit him or shoot at him. And really, like, nobody's even hurt you yet, so he's got a lot of health to trade. Now, the one thing I would like to point out here is if you knew the Grespe was coming out, could have had the AP loaded and just deleted the guy instead of having to take a second shot. Or you were just like, you know what, I'm going to get a close quarters expert and let that happen. Now, luckily for us, the Nicholas finished off the battleship before the battleship realized that he could completely decimate the our cruiser player here, Mr. Ajax. I do like that he's taking advantage of the smoke. It might not be the best smoke. It's obviously not going to be lasting long, but you know what? You take advantage of it. It's there. Why not? You've got British get up and go power. So there's no reason not to enjoy it, to, you know, avoid those pesky dive bombers that would potentially ruin the I've taken no damage. Now, I don't know what the Queen Elizabeth here is doing, but I'm going to suspect the Queen Elizabeth disconnected or went AFK. I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually seen somebody get disconnected in the battle to where their guns go back neutral. I don't know if this is what happens when they DC now, but you can clearly see he's just sitting there, his guns half turned. Now, the one thing I would point out is you sent the torpedoes to deal with the Queen Elizabeth. You gotta fire on the Queen Elizabeth. Ignore the Queen Elizabeth until the Queen Elizabeth starts moving or doing something. Shoot the carrier. It's just gonna net you more experience. It's one of the things, proper way to damage farm, ha ha ha. But, I mean, you're going to get more experience because you've sent the torpedoes to deal with the QE. You could have potentially gotten that kill. I do suspect you're loading the AP for him. As you manage to get the QE with your torpedoes. As soon as you got that fire, you should have just turned and started dealing with the carrier. But it's not like you were in any real danger. It's just you would have got a little bit more experience and a little bit more Well, potentially what you could have done is you could have gotten a lot more experience and damage. But even shooting at battleships with AP, you can do significant damage as, you know, you just would have to time it right. And there's really nothing wrong with what you're doing. It's just small little things to maybe help out. But then again, we are, what, 12 minutes into this game? And you still haven't taken a lick of damage, and you are up in the fight. Now, hopefully you can get the shots off for the Kraken, as... Nope. Of course somebody's going to take it. But you do recognize that it's an Omaha, and I like the call that you made. Shoot the rear turrets, get the AP loaded. It's an Omaha at the end of the day. So hopefully nobody gets this kill, or you can manage to snag the kill, because the TD's on the other side of the planet. As the battleship shoots, you shoot. The battleship's rounds come in first, and yours come in to finish them off for a well-deserved Kraken Unleash. And you know what? I'm still in awe that you have taken 0 damage, and like, there's not an achievement for it. Like, that would just... I mean, that would even be even rarer than solo warriors. My hats are off to you. Now, the other thing is, CaptAjax here did mention he had a YouTube channel. Unfortunately, in the email, I didn't see a link or where to find it. Apologize for that. So if you're watching, put a link down in the description, and I will pin it for you. Now, guys, we're going to check out the post-battle results, because, well, nothing really happens until the T-22 dies from the carrier, I do believe. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. When I say I've never seen anybody play a game where they didn't take damage, I'm not talking about DDs or smoke cruisers or somebody who just hid behind an island all day. Gentleman went out there, pushed, was aggressive, got hit. As you can see, small amount of potential damage, but still somebody shot at him, and he still walked away with full health at the end of the game. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you send us. The email for that is in the description down below. Mr. Ajax, don't forget to leave a link to your channel in the, down in the comment section. I will be sure to get that pinned for you. And go check him out, guys, and his channel. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.